Greetings, you screeching slivers. I hope you're doing well. My name is Graham, and welcome to the Crack-A-Pack here at LRRMTG. Please consider subscribing to our channel. Today, we are opening a pack of Time Spiral, which was given to us at Magicom Barcelona by Jasper from Denmark. I'm not sure if that is their full title. Hello, I'm Jasper from Denmark. I live in Minnesota. Or if their name is Jasper and they're from Denmark, probably the latter. Thank you, Jasper. I hope Denmark is nice. I don't think we've ever opened a pack of Time Spirals, so I'm excited to take a look. This is from 2006. Where did you buy this? On the back, it has all the normal stuff, and then it says in French, continue, 15 it says 15 cards in English, imported into Canada for Wizards of the Coast. But this, you in Denmark bought a Canadian pack unknowingly, I assume. Why would you ever scrutinize that? Did you buy this online? That's hilarious to me that this pack was originally intended for retail in Canada, and so it returns. Anyway, that's not what we're here to do. Let's open it. That was tricky to get into. Okay, we begin with Flowstone Channeler. Oh yeah, Flowstone. That's the +1/-1 thingy. 2 and a red for a 2/2 human Spell Shaper. Spell Shapers. That's another thing I recognize. I'm gonna keep doing that this whole time. Just like, oh yeah, that. 1 and a red, and tap and discard a card. Target creature gets +1/-1 and haste until end of turn. That can't be worth a card. Maybe you're incredibly flooded, but like, that, if, as a removal spell, maybe. But that can't be worth discarding a card for. And tapping a creature? Oof. Not all Spell Shapers are great. You heard? What? The Gnar. That's right. It's Herd Gnar. Herd Gnar? What kind of Gnar is this? Ah, well. It's the kind that move in herd. They do move in herds. Sorry, I've never seen this card before. 3 and a green for a 2/2 beast. Whenever another creature comes into play under your control, Herd Gnar gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Oh, so you can make it. That's not limited either. If you make a bunch of tokens, you could get a very big Herd Gnar. Long ago, the solitary Gnar was a sign of good luck. Now they have become wild pack hunters, a sign of impending danger. I tend to be pretty forgiving about magic creatures looking cute and stuff. I don't know that this one does. If I saw just one Gnar, I wouldn't be like, oh, awesome, what a great omen. I'd be like, let's stay away from the Gnar. And now there's more of them? Sounds awful. We'll save that one for the next time we do another Time Spiral pack on Crack-A-Pack. Trespasser Ilvek. 2 and a black for a 3/1 human rogue. Discard a card. Trespasser Ilvek gains Shadow until end of turn. Now, a bunch of the Ilveks, etc. have been reprinted other times. Not this one. I've never seen this one, this particular Wrathy, reprinted. Discard a card to give it Shadow. That's potentially powerful. It's a 3-mana 3/1 otherwise, which is a little below rate. Is there madness in this format? There must be some reason you want to discard these cards. I don't know. Amru Scout, conversely, is one I've definitely seen reprinted. It's 1 and a white for a 2/1 Kithkin Rebel Scout. 4 mana and tap and search your library for a rebel card with converted mana cost 3 or less and put it into play, then shuffle your library. Okay, that one's a rogue, not a rebel, but this one is it's a piker. It's a 2/1 for 2, and then you can go looking for other rebels, which is honestly very strong. There's a pacifism that is rebel type, so you can use this to just like instant speed pacify, because it goes into play and then you attach it to something. It even gets around Shroud and Hexproof. I don't recall the name of it. It's like a ghostly minotaur floating sideways, if I recall correctly. Anyway, oh, it's Grape Shot. Storm, hey? All right. 1 and a red for a sorcery. Grape Shot deals 1 damage to target creature or player with Storm. I assume that this is the set that famously had Storm, and I've just forgotten about it. I wasn't actually playing Magic in 2006, so I skipped all of this. Storm, of course, is whenever you play the spell, you copy it for each spell played before it this turn, and you may choose new targets for the copy. So, you know, all you have to do is cast 19 spells and then grape shot your opponent for lethal. How hard can it be? It's lethal, Michael. What could it cost? 2 mana? Traitor's Clutch is next. 4 and a black for an instant. Never seen this before. That is some wild art. Target creature gets +1/+0, becomes black, and gains Shadow until end of turn for 5 mana. +1/+0, changes color. Also, it has Shadow. And you can flash it back for only 2 mana. So I guess, okay, so flashback. All right, sure. So we're discarding this and then casting it for cheaper because we're able to discard it. Okay, all right. The draft format is slowly developing in my head. I would lose. Plunder is next. 4 and a red for a sorcery, destroy target artifact or land. And if that seems expensive to you, that's okay, because you can do it for cheaper. You just have to wait 4 turns. Because it has Suspend. This is where Suspend was from. That's sort of the whole kind of like flavorfully integral to the format. All the Suspend cards have things like coming out of these time bubbles. And so how Suspend works, if you're unfamiliar, is you pay the Suspend cost, in this case 1 and a red, and you exile it with 4 time counters on it. And then every upkeep you take a time counter off, and then when the last one comes off, you cast the spell. And if it's a creature, it gains haste. You just sort of put 2 mana, set this aside, and then 4 turns later, you can destroy an artifact or a land. In this case, does not seem worth, because that's a long time to wait to destroy a land. You can't really, like, you're not really going to Stone Rain them in a meaningful way. And if anyone knows about Stone Raining in a meaningful way, I wish this was a creature. That would have been an amazing segue. No, this is Eternity Snare. 5 and a blue for an aura, and a real sad-looking Minotaur. Enchant creature. When it comes into play, draw a card. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Wow, that's so bad comparatively when you stack that up against recent versions of this effect. I assume that they realized that 6 mana was a preposterous cost to pay for this because it doesn't even tap the creature. The creature has to be tapped already. It'll keep it tapped, but that and drawing a card is not a 6 mana effect. Wow. You know, I don't say this a lot on this show, but I don't think that card is particularly good. Hot take Stark over here. Molder and Scully? Oh no, Molder, not mold. M-O-L-D-E-R. X and a green. X and a green? What fresh hell is a green X spell going to bring us? It's an instant. Destroy target artifact or enchantment with converted mana cost X. It can't be regenerated. You gain X life. Speaking of comparing this to current power level, I think if they printed this today, it would be X or less so that you could put as much mana into this as you want and gain the X life. Because destroy target artifact or enchantment, if it's 3 mana, then this costs 4 and you destroy that and then you gain 3 life, and which I guess is fine. It seems very limiting. Never heard of or seen this card before. A lot of that happening today, actually, which is fun. Oh yeah, Venser's Sliver. The Sliver what doesn't do nothing. It's a 5 mana artifact, Sliver, and it's a 3/3. Venser admired his handiwork and smiled. His first prototype had joined with the hive mind all too well, running with the brood and becoming a predator itself. This one, he thought, would be accepted into the hive, but still obey his commands. Yeah, but no. That's kind of cool that Venser was able to make a sliver that got all the abilities of the other slivers without contributing anything of its own. Like, that's cool. Good for you, Venser. This card is bad, but, you know, good for you. Pendlehaven Elder. 1 and a green for a 1/1 elf shaman, and tap. Each 1/1 creature you control gets +1/+2 until end of turn. What an interesting ability. Clearly this is a reference to something that's sailing so far over my head, even Reach would not be able to block it, but I have no idea. No idea what that is. It's neat though. Works on her. Doesn't work on this thick-skinned goblin though. 1 and a red for a 2/1 goblin shaman. You may pay 0 rather than the echo cost for permanents you control. Like my Sting Scourger and all the other goblins with echo. Also, thick-skinned goblin gains protection from red until end of turn. You can't bolt this goblin. That's neat. I like that a lot. Our last uncommon is Ghost Flame Sliver. This is a gold sliver. It's black-red for a 2/2, but then it's not gold, actually, because its ability is all slivers are colorless. Because it's Ghost Flame, of course. Why would you want all your slivers to be colorless? That Trader's Clutch makes your creature black, too, so there's obviously something also going on with creature colors in this set. And Thick-Skinned Goblin gains pro-red. Colorless. Interesting. That's a scary thought. Okay. Okay, Time Spiral, you got something going on here. Someday I'll draft you. I've drafted Time Spiral Remastered, which is fun, but I've never drafted this one. Our rare now, is, Living End. It's got no mana cost, but it is black. Suspend for 2 black. Suspend 3, so 3 time counters. Each player exiles all creature cards from their graveyard, then sacrifices all their creatures, then puts into play all the cards from exile. So it's living death, but you can only suspend it. But you could cascade into it, which is exciting. Wow. All those creatures we discarded earlier, right? Okay. Living it, that's kind of a big deal. That's a big game. Oh, I really want to draft this now. Oh, right, and you get the purple one. Were these in every pack? I don't know if these were, but the retro border with the purple expansion symbol. It's Krosan Cloud Scraper. 7 green for a 13/13 beast mutant. At the beginning of your upkeep, sacrifice Krosan Cloud Scraper unless you pay green. And as morph, but the morph up cost is still 7 green. So you're only getting a single green mana pip reduction to morph it. That is big. I guess so, because you could morph it, and then on your next turn, you could pay merely 9 mana to flip it up, and then you get to attack with it on a turn where you didn't have to pay its upkeep. But if you've got the 9 mana, 2 of which is green anyway, you can pay the upkeep. This is, of the big dumb green idiots I've seen in my day, this is one of the biggest, greenest, dumbest, most idiotic creatures. I love it, but it's not good. This pack, though, not a 13/13, a 14 and some change. $14 for this pack. Now, granted, $12.12 of that is Living End. But hey, Living End. That's neat. Drafting this? I'm going to first pick Living End, because that just seems like a fun way to suddenly win a game of Limited. For me. Fun for me, not for whoever I'm playing against. And I will sit back and happily watch that Krosan Cloud Scraper wheel mercilessly around the table until someone is obliged to finally take it. That was great. Hey, thanks again to Jasper from Denmark for giving us this pack of Time Spiral. This was a blast. Boy, I want to find more Time Spiral now. This has been a lot of fun on the Crack-A-Pack today. A reminder, of course, this show and everything we do here is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Please also check out our store for playmats and sleeves and all kinds of other fun stuff. Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by Paul today on tech. Matt edits these. Heather gets them online. Thank you all so much for watching. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.